Let's bring in our panel. Lisa Booth, Fox News political analyst and host of the Truth with Lisa Booth podcast. Tim Ryan, former Democratic Congressman of Ohio, and Jack Brewer, chairman of the Jack Brewer Foundation, former NFL safety and observer of all things cultural and American and athletic. It's great to have all of you with us today. Thank you for being here. Potential crack in the blue wall. You know, Lisa, we've been kind of waiting to see some movement here, and there's still 2 weeks to go, so we could get another nudge in one direction or the other here. What's your read on where this stands right now?
Well, 2 weeks out, I can't believe it. But, you know, to me, Martha, look, I worked as a vice president of a polling firm. I worked on a Senate race in Wisconsin, many other races. The biggest tell for me that Donald Trump is winning this thing is looking at incumbent Democrat senators Bob Casey in Pennsylvania and Tammy Baldwin in Wisconsin tying themselves in paid advertising to Donald Trump in their closing messaging, touting their support of Donald Trump in advertising. Martha, I can tell you, you don't pay money to tie yourself to someone who you think is losing your state. And you don't pay to tie yourself to someone who is unpopular. They're hoping that split ticket voters vote for Donald Trump and bring them along the way. And Martha, I don't think anyone on this panel can name a single vulnerable Democrat in this country tying themselves to Kamala Harris in advertising. I can certainly, there's not a single Republican tying themselves to Kamala Harris, but I can't think of a single Democrat, a vulnerable Democrat tying themselves to Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
so that tells you everything.
It's a very valid point. Tim Ryan, your take on why people in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin are putting out ads. They're in tight races, and they're trying to show the people of their state the times that they did side with former President Trump on important issues.
Well, I think there were a couple big issues that on NAFTA, renegotiating NAFTA, a couple things that Trump was right on. And in these industrial states, I think it's important as a sitting senator to show that. But I think this race is going to come down to, and I tend to agree with Carville, do people really want to listen to Donald Trump on their TV for the next 4 years? Because it is exhausting. And I hear that even from people who support him and who will vote for him. And I just am not sure if independent voters, moderate Republicans, are going to go out and pull the lever, because I think vast majority of the country is going to want to move on. And I'm not saying they're in love with Kamala Harris, but they want to move on from that old style of politics and just the exhaustion of the whole thing and the lies and the bravado and the picking on people and the divisiveness. And if you think after he had 2 chances to heal this country after his first victory in 2016 and after the assassination attempt, he could have healed this country big time. And in both instances, he made matters worse. So people who want to heal are not going to vote for him.
You know, the question, I think, is in their pocketbooks. I also think it's the authenticity factor in a big way, Jack Brewer. Let's put up the Georgia poll that we just got, which shows him ahead, former President Trump ahead by 4 points in Georgia. That's the Atlanta Constitution, Journal-Constitution poll, Jack. What do you see as we're also watching this very open effort to reach black voters, male black voters in particular, Jack?
To Tim's point, I mean, we can turn down our TV if we don't want to hear Donald Trump, but we can't turn down the prices at the gas pump. Black men can't turn down the fact that our kids' reading and math proficiency levels are in the tanks. We can't turn down the fact that in our cities that we live in, black folks, crime is at all-time highs in some areas, and just especially violent crime. And so these are the realities that Americans are living with. These are the realities that African Americans are living with. And I think that's why you're seeing so many black men come to the polls for Donald Trump. We know what Kamala Harris means. We know what she stands for. We've seen her lock up black men disproportionately for marijuana and everything else. We understand what Democratic policy looks like, and we don't like it. People don't like the fact that they're sending their kids to public school systems that don't work. People are tired of this liberal woke kind of gray area that we're all walking in, where we say one thing, but yet we do another. People want realism. People want to go in and know that they have a chance to live the American dream. And it's not good when the American dream is not being pursued. And that's the reason you see these Democrats on edge that are siding with President Trump. The truth is in the pudding.
Great points. And I think, I'm glad you brought up education. To me, it is the huge missing issue of this presidential race. We have so many children across this country who cannot read at grade level. And the fact that that outrage is not on the forefront of people's minds. And as you say, Jack, that is the future of our country. And nobody talks about it. So I'm very glad that you brought it up today. I think it's a huge issue. I want to thank all of you for being here. Lisa Booth, Tim Ryan, Jack Brewer. Thank you.